smoke rising from the mountain. And the village, too. What's it for?
Smoke from the mountain is cursed today. Bad omen for the ritual. In times like these, let's not forget the importance of ceremony. The young hunters have learned a lesson from Thunderstrom. Sometimes, loss is the price of survival. Ray's been gone a long time.
Aratak means to go back to the mountain, and I will stand with him.
Must be something big going on. Most of the village is moving towards that smoke.
Who knows better how to lead than Aratak?
Get ready for a rare sight, Nora. Bergrand, purveyor of necessities. Most of the time, the Banuk burn their dead. But not today.
Because the bodies couldn't be recovered.
Aye, a nasty business. All their best warriors lost. So they're getting a different kind of send-off.
Grasp your grief, my hunters, and kill it! For our kin sees the fate all Banuk long for. Falling with their spears striking steel. Their struggle is over now. You have witnessed their spirits rise up into the blue sky, and beyond to the blue light. But our struggle is only beginning. Soon, we will again take up the hunt against the daemon that frenzies the machines against us. And so I ask you, can you summon the courage of our fallen kin? Will you fight and die as well as they did?
My courage! My spear!
Our blood is in your teeth, Aratak!
We are Banuk. Our enemies. Our prey.
The daemon. That frenzies the machines.
Machines that wiped out their best. And what do they want to do? Go back up there. Fools. A little advice, for free.
Aloy.
Aloy. I've been up here for 2 long winters, and I still can't make sense of the Banuk. Take this ruckus. It started with one of their shamans, Ourea, spouting on about spirits and daemons up on Thunder's Drum. So they march their Werik up there, and half of them get slaughtered by machines. When Ourea vanished, I thought the crazy might have gone with her, but no. Here's Big Aratak, gearing them up to do it all over again.
What is it about the Banuk you can't make sense of?
Well, everything's a test to them. A hardship to endure. A challenge to survive.
Seems like they don't have much of a choice in a place like this.
A land cold enough to crack teeth, filled with wild animals. You think they'd accept a little reasonably priced aid? Well, believe me, I've tried to convince them. But a Banuk with nothing left to prove might just lie down and die.
And Ourea is the one who spoke about this daemon?
That's right. Told Aratak and the others that it lives up on Thunder's Drum. And they believed him.
But you don't.
Look, I don't know what Ourea found up there. A shaman's not going to talk to an outlander. The machines in the cut are getting more vicious, that's a fact. It could be because of the daemon, or it could be because they all got indigestion, for all I know. But Ourea's not around to explain. She took off, and no one knows why.
Is Aratak a renowned warrior around here?
He's a Werik chieftain. His voice carries a lot of respect. Not that you hear much of it. Man talks about as much as a dead fish. But when he and Ourea came to town with their Werik, it drew more Banuk to this little burg than I'd ever seen. Know what else I saw, Aloy? My own little trade route, stretching all the way back to the claim. Then, he goes and leads them off to their death at the claws of angry machines. So much for my best customers.
What are these Weriks about, Bergrand? Some sort of tribe within the tribe?
Yeah, not like our clans back home. You don't get born into these things. They hold tryouts. Prove your best at something and you might get a place. Some Weriks come and go. Some last as long as metal. The whole Banuk territory, Banur, is just a bunch of the biggest, oldest Weriks.
I'm not sure if I'm less confused or more confused.
Well, here's the sure thing. Each Werik has a chieftain and a shaman. They make the decisions. All well and good, except the chieftains are hard-headed, and the shamans have their heads in the clouds.
Have you ever heard of a man named Silence? Tall, deadly serious, cables in his skin? Like a shaman?
I've heard that name once or twice, but always whispered. Like some boogeyman the Banuk want to forget. I'm not sure what went down, but I got the impression he messed with the Conclave. Or they messed with him.
Conclave?
All the most important shamans gather in Banur from time to time to keep up with the latest mumbo-jumbo. No idea how they all fit into one tent without those crazy headdresses getting locked up on each other. Ourea's been to that shindig, but when I asked her what it's like, she just gave me a dirty look. So if you want to know more, you'll have to find her. and make her like you, I guess. Good luck.
You said you've lived out here for 2 winters?
Aye. Back home, some fur traders told me about this steel-forsaken heap of tents. Good location. Ripe for change. We were barely scraping by until this place started filling up for Ourea. A great prophet is coming, they said. I heard prophet. Honest mistake. Not that the Banuk are stingy, they just prefer to keep trade among themselves. We could get through to enough of them. We could really put this place on the map. Or at least on a map.
We?
Me and my daughter. My assistant, Varja. My assistant and my daughter. We seem to get along better as business partners. Her mother wanted me to show her a trade. She started tinkering with weapons. Say, when you need a break from this Banuk carry-on, stop in and see her. You're both, how do I put it?
Women?
No. Independent. Look for her at Long Notch, the easternmost Banuk camp.
I want to know more about this Daemon.
It's crazy talk, Aloy.
Or there's something to it. Something connected to how the machines behave.
Then you need to find Ourea. She was last seen headed for the mountains they call the Ice Rafts. I've heard only the shamans know the trail beyond those frozen peaks. But I do know where you could find her apprentice, Naltuk. He went north of the river, chasing rumors.
Rumors?
Not the good kind. Sudden attacks in the snow. Strange new structures. Some say a new machine, like no one's seen before.
Well, now I'm definitely interested. Thanks for the talk, Bergrand.
Don't mention it.
I wonder if Aratak could tell me more about Ourea or Thunderstrom. Might be worth a shot.
Have you ever heard the tones?
About that free advice, Bergrand.
For you, I'll give it twice. But next time, I'll start charging.
See you around, Bergrand.
Hope so. I like return customers.
South, demons in the cut. Some days it seems like the blue light has no hold on them.
I mean, on top of all we've endured, we find ourselves beset by bandits?
I do not want to hear this talk from you again. Doubt is heavier than a week's snow.
Forgive me, my chieftain. We will be ready for the next attempt.
But this will not be an attempt. It must be done. Do you understand?
My chieftain.
Good. Outlander, I suppose you wish to speak?
Ourea knows about this Daemon. Where would I talk to her?
She does a shaman's work. That is not for the eyes and ears of others. Certainly not an Outlander's.
This Daemon you talked about.
If you are hardy enough, you can venture out and see the signs yourself. It has changed the machines, made them fiercer, stronger.
But what is it?
A matter for the shamans to debate.
Did your Warwick come from this place?
No, we rallied most of our hunters from across Banur to face the threat of the Daemon. But I was born here, and stayed to fight the Karja when others retreated into the mountains. A few of my old warriors remained with me, those who survived.
There are other Weraks in Song's Edge too?
Yes, the village has its own life for all Banuk who need trade or shelter. After the war ended, it sprang up from what was once a campsite, quick as the bloom between frosts. Perhaps it will last, until the Karja seek war again.
You're set on going back to the mountain?
I have put my word to it.
Even with the risks being so great?
The risk of what? Death? The would be a worse fate to bow our heads to the challenge and say too much.
Well, I guess that's it then.
Good. Prefer deeds to words.
Right.
All Stone Hills bandits freezing this. Cowards. The only one fit for them.
These things that killed our hunters, how many of them have already poured into the cut? Deep in, silenced by rising numbers. There's no time to waste for it. Machines, it's time to kill them.
flood started that.
You seem sad, stranger. I heard you mention a flood.
Yes. A sudden deluge, without rain or melt to explain it. I'm Laolai, the drummer of Deep Din. Or at least I was, until it disappeared under the waters.
Deep Din. What's that?
A hollow, carved out by the Old Ones. A chamber, a basin, and a musical instrument all at once. My life, my calling. I'd explain it by playing for you if I could. But its pipes are deep under the water now.
So Deep Din is a place, and a musical instrument?
Yes. Pipes that carry a perfect tone beneath a sonorous basin. A wondrous edifice the Old Ones used to carry music far and wide. During the war, my father played the pipes to rally the Banuk against the Carja. I'm the drummer now. But our battles are few and far between. Mostly I play for the joy of it. Or to remember my family. Of course, if the waters don't recede, what's the point of joy? Or remembering?
So the waters came fast.
One day it was dry. The next, the nearby river had risen and the entire basin was flooded. I don't understand it. There was no rain, not even any clouds, and yet the river rose higher than I'd ever seen it. And there it remains.
A flood without rain. That is strange. Where is this place? I'll have a look if I'm in the area.
Just northwest of here. Look all you like, but I don't see what good it'll do. The floodwaters aren't going anywhere. How does one ask a river to relent?
The Banuk of Song's Edge are our own. And we deserve payment like any other. Trust in the blue light. All will be well.
It would be unwise.
Water lavender, stone. That's a sound to sleep to, not listen.
Bankai. When the old ones were fresh in their graves and our numbers were still
So clever.
It was she
Why can't she
who led us through the frozen wastes. We also remember the ravenous tribe, who delighted in sucking the marrow from our broken bones. Everywhere Bankai and Howerak fled, the ravenous tribe were never far behind. Seeking a way to defeat them, Bankai went into the wastes and let the wind whip her cheeks. And when the cold brought sleep, she dreamt of light. She saw it behind the world, a great calming sheet of icy blue. And she saw something new. Herds of machines, each filled with the same blue light. When she woke, she knew which star to follow. She walked for many days and nights until she arrived at a temple built from sparkling ice. At the gates of the temple, she was met by the machines from her dream, who bowed to her as she entered. Inside, Bankai discovered the blue light bubbling from a hole in the snowy earth like a spring. You bid me come, she said. My people need aid. Will you provide it? The machines whispered to Bankai. We go where the light goes, for we are its chosen vessels. There is darkness in your heart. It cannot hold the light for long. Carry it to your people if you must, but the cost will be great. Bankai waded into the pool. The light reared like a nest of snakes and struck Bankai, piercing her skin, filling her up. Bankai did not scream, though she was in agony. Bankai did not collapse, though her limbs shook. She climbed from the pool and carried the light inside her. She marched toward home, and the machines marched behind her. As she walked, the light struggled to push its way out of her, but the machines were there to aid her. She sewed her body shut with their cables, patched herself with their metal, and kept the light within. When she arrived, the forces of the ravenous tribe had surrounded the camp. Although the light had left her with 1,000 wounds, Bankai charged. And because she held the light, the machines followed. The ravenous tribe killed many, but those in camp rushed to join the battle. They gathered pieces of the fallen machines and from them fashioned weapons. And it was with these that Banukai's people repaid the suffering the ravenous tribe had wrought upon them. When quiet descended, Banukai finally fell. The machines bowed their heads, and Howerak wept. The light she'd held within her drifted from her wounds and rose to the sky. And for just a moment, before life left her, Banukai knew the truth of the blue light. And she felt peace. We remember Banukai, the first to crawl from the cave beneath the world, who brought the machines to us. When we speak the name of our tribe, we remember her. And we will not forget. We remember Banukai, when the old ones were fresh in their graves and our numbers were still small. It was she who led us through the frozen wastes. We also remember the ravenous tribe, who delighted in sucking the marrow from our broken bones. Everywhere Banukai and Howerak fled, the ravenous tribe. I heard of a shaman once who drank machine blood. I think the conclave vanished.
Quite a view you've got up here.
It's a useful perspective. How fleeting we are when the world is so wide. From up here, you can see how the light paints across the land. Ever changing. That's a lesson. All our marks will pass.
That outlook sounds a little depressing for a painter.
Haven't met many artists, have you? Song's Edge needs new stories. I scrubbed its past off this rock to start anew, but a new start needs new colors. Fresh pigments, like none have seen.
Have you always been a painter?
I've always painted. But I wasn't a painter until I was driven out of Ban-Ur. Up there, the markings are eternal. They paint over the same lines, the same colors, over and over. As a child, I learned from copying them. As I grew, my heart sank at the familiarity. All of us Banuk might as well be trapped in glacier ice. We have the look of life, but never really moving.
These pigments you want. Where should I look for them?
Salts gather at the edges of geysers and hot pools. Crystals cling to the rocks and cliffs.
The Banuk rock paintings are impressive, but,
You want to know what they mean? That's not the right question, but I'll answer anyway. Some are called to the machines. The sacred shapes you see on metal casings, or on a cauldron door.
Do the machines listen to the call?
I don't know. Others, like mine, are a call to the tribe. You could say inspiration or prophecy. And sometimes even men listen, if the painting is loud enough.
I'll see what I can find for you.
Seek out the vibrant ones. A spring of sudden color among snow or rock or metal. That's its own reward. But I'd reward you as well.
You'll find no glory here, Outlander. Only cold and death. Foolish hunters equip cheap bows and shoddy spears, then act surprised when the hunt eludes them.
When the old ones were fresh in their graves and our numbers were scarce.
Oh, I'm glad my father isn't around. It would torment him to see his legacy go.
Time to move on. Some of us have real responsibilities and don't have time to spend all day painting cliffsides like Sakuli.
We whisper harvest songs as we take parts from the machines. And this way, they know we aren't dead. responsibility of the shaman to act as a bridge. On one side, the wearer. Other, the machine spirits may be resistant.
Okay, if I want to learn more about how this daemon affects the machines, I've got to find Araya. To do that, I need to talk to her apprentice, who followed the river north.
Outlander, wait a moment. That weapon of yours, Outlander, that spear, I can see the blue light upon it.
This? It was made by an acquaintance of mine.
Ah, a shaman.
No. More of a tinker?
A tinker does not understand the spark in the metal, the song in the metal like this. But it could be improved upon, modified, with the help of the old ones. Far north of here there is a cave, a shaft in the snow. Within it is a nest of metal birds. Find a bird that hasn't been stripped by shamans past. Look for a rail inside it, the length of your spear. That's all I can tell you.
Get a rail from some metal birds in a cave. Sounds perfectly normal.
Challenge at a time. The bandits have stolen.
Whatever's happening in Thunder's Drum, it's not enough to bring down the Banuk.
Who took my bowl of red dye? I know someone must have it. Come on.
Should have brought a cart.
Any news from the hunt?
The herd isn't roaming far from the camp.
Keep them together this time.
Then we wait. But I bet we see a stray.
All right, I'll keep watching.
Need them soon enough. fascinating, if they weren't looking for me.
Maybe you help work before you grow old.
Tough, but I'm used to it. Keep that for later. Fresh as it comes. Outlanders. Carja Outlanders.
Feels so cool and crisp today.
May the sun grant you a portion of its wisdom, young huntress.
What brings you Carja so far from your home?
There's good machine hunting in the cut. Danger, too. Some have a taste for both, and they pay people like me well to guide them. We've had a bad run this time, even after I brought this priest along to read the signs.
I did say the sun's light was cast quite red the night of the...
Not your concern, though, Huntress. May your arrows find their mark.
You put that Oseram assassin in his place.
I just want a moment's peace.
At least you don't put on airs. At least you don't put on airs.
I've always wondered,
The sunshine.
are all your kind hunters and fighters, or just a few?
What next? A woman, a king? Prince Edom is alive and well.
May the sun light your way.
Bergren said Araya's apprentice went north of the river. Hopefully not too far. Looks good. This'll last.